Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Happy Friday to you all. I hope that you're having an amazing day thus far. I know my day is going pretty well, and so I want to come on here this afternoon really quickly to share some thoughts with you all, and hopefully I don't get interrupted. I probably will. I sent my nanny out to go do a couple of errands, and I feel like she's going to call me. But I want to do this really quickly before the day went by and I didn't share this sentiment with all of you. So if you're watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you are watching me from today. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my intro as I always do. My name is Sharita Leon. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a two-time #1 best-selling author with books that were on the bestsellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life, relationship, and business coach, and internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuded in all that I do. So welcome, everyone. Listen, I have to have this conversation with you guys tonight because I really want people to hear, especially now with so much going on in the world, why it's so imperative to have these conversations. Now, what I'm going to share with you is not anything new. I've been sharing this with you all for years, literally for years. But now more than ever, we're realizing based off of what's taking place in the entire world, how imperative it is for everyone to be financially secure, financially free. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were discussing, about their children going back to school. And this person actually is a college professor. They actually own their own school. And y'all know I'm talking about Dr. V, right? And we were talking about how many parents are being forced to put their children back in school, whether it's actually healthy for them or not. The truth is, most of them have to either go back to work and don't have the opportunity to let their children stay home, or the fact that the government is making them put their children in school or force them to get vaccinated so that they can go to school. And this is the thing. We have to be responsible for our own well-being, and part of doing that, a great deal of doing that, is being financially secure. Getting rich and being wealthy is not just about having nice things that people rap about or sing about, or be boastful about. It's literally a matter of you being able to secure your family, protecting your family, being able to have other options in life where people are being forced to do things that are not for their well-being. When they started opening up cities and states, it wasn't because, okay, it was now healthier or now it became safe. It was done because people literally wanted to make more money. The people were losing money in businesses, and states were losing money, and some states were even on the brink of being bankrupt. And all of this was because they needed the dollar, right? It wasn't that your health mattered. It wasn't that people were looking out for you. It was because an end had to be met. And when you are not in the seat of where you can financially secure yourself, you are now in a place where you're being stuck and doing what everybody else is telling you. And now here you are, your life is in danger, your children's life is in danger. And this is why we have to be able to be in control of our finances. We have to be the one to really take it our responsibility to make sure that we can do without any stimulus, without any assistance, to know that we are secured on our own. So when I come and for years have been sharing with people different ways of wealth creation, it's for you to realize that no one is looking out for you other than yourself. It's for you to realize that literally there are some people in your family that are depending on you to be in a place financially where you don't have to be suddenly thrown out into an environment that is not for your well-being. When we talk about being wealthy and why you need to be rich, it's simply because there will be no middle class. And I've been telling y'all this for years. There will be no middle class in America. That is common for third world countries and other places outside of America. But in this US of A, you will quickly see how there will be no middle class. And for so long, a lot of Americans have taken pride in being middle class or taken, comfort in that. But there is no comfort because that's going to be eliminated. There will strictly be the haves and the have-nots. And the truth is, the rules are not created for the have-nots to win. The rules are not only created for the people that have, but the rules are created by those who have. Period. They write the rules. They get the tax benefits. The rest of the world does not. Even the Bible says a poor man's wisdom no one listens to. All these righteous people, all these people, all this knowledge and wisdom, if their bank account doesn't reflect it, no one's listening. You want their attention? You want them to stop doing certain things? You make sure that you have your money in place, because they respect that. They may not like you, they may not respect you, but what they will take notice of is your money. So when we see the whole Buy Black Tuesday or blackout weeks and all of that, trust me, if we all really came together for real, and did this, oh, they will pay more attention. Because we know that Black people have one of the highest buying powers, period, in America. And so for someone to feel as if they can be comfortable where they are and still have to clock in and clock out, still live paycheck to paycheck. Or there are some of you who make a lot of money, but yet are not investing it, yet not securing it or keeping it. That doesn't make any difference either, because you're probably worse off than the person who does not have the money. I had a conversation literally with someone yesterday who made over $32,000 in 1 month. Over $32,000 a month, and couldn't show much for it. So this conversation is not just for the people that don't have. This conversation is also for those who have, to make you more conscious of what it is that you're doing with what you have, and how are you creating structures in place to make sure that you don't have to depend on anybody else, and everyone connected to you in your bloodline, your children, are protected. Because everything else is just a number, and they really don't care. I hope y'all are sharing this video, because a whole lot more people need to be watching this that are. And that's the problem. That's the freaking problem. People are rather be entertained and looking at other things that are not going to aid them, going to help them, and they're the ones that need it. Y'all are the ones that need it, and you won't watch. That's the crazy part. And so while you're sitting here praying and hoping and going on fast and doing all these things, okay, well, God should be giving you revelation on how to get wealth, because that's the word too. He's given us all the power, the ability to get wealth, and most of us don't even see it at all. Most of us don't even position ourselves to see it. And so when do we take it as our responsibility to be conscious and intentional about wealth creation? We can no longer afford to be reactive. This is the time to be proactive, not just for you, but for your children. Like, my daughter is not going back to school. I don't care what they say. They're not giving her no vaccination. That I will not. I won't. And as much as I know homeschooling is not my anointing, and I'm not sure that I want it to be, she's going to be right here. Even if that means I have to hire someone to make sure that they teach her, she's not going back there. And the thing that hurts so bad is that there are people that feel like they don't have a choice. And they don't have a choice because they don't have things set in place to help them. And by help, I don't mean a handout. By help, I mean opportunities. And I think that's where a lot of people get mixed up. And that goes back to the mindset, because a lot of people feel as if, well, if you have, you should help me. And by that definition, they mean you should just give me the money. You should just pay my rent. You should just pay my bills. No. What somebody should do, and not even should, what someone can do, if they feel that's their assignment in life, is to teach you how to do it. I remember one time I told someone, I said, I am going to show you how to get wealth. I said, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm just going to show you. And they got offended. They got highly offended. And that just let me know where their mindset was. You got offended because I told you I would teach you how to ensure that you would never have to want for anything again, that you would have the responsibility, you would have the ability to tap into your own resources whenever you want, and you got offended. That lets me know where your mindset is. We have to come together and have an economical shift that truly changes the trajectory of our bloodline. We must become conscious of our inheritance, conscious of being leaving legacy. I appreciate you, King Samuel. We have to make sure that we're conscious of these things. And y'all, we have to realize that although it may seem like we're really progressing, that many more African Americans are in entrepreneurship, the truth is we're actually way behind. We had more African American entrepreneurs in the 70s. We may seem like, because we have social media and all that kind of stuff, but we're actually behind. They were doing way more back then than we're doing now. That's a problem. That is a problem. We have more people that are more concerned about the appearance of wealth rather than actually creating it. The African American average net worth is $400. That's scary. And listen, this is the thing. We all start somewhere, right? No one say you do this overnight. That's not how it happens. But there should be a financial plan. How many of you have sat down with your families, or if you're single, have sat down and say, okay, what is my financial plan? Like, what is my plan with my actual finances? How can we grow this money? How can we create additional streams? How do we do any of that? Because more people may be conscious of being debt free, which is great. But debt freedom is not the end all be all. You could speak debt freedom, but if you don't create an additional stream, it's not helping you. And so we have to have these conversations to have the better options when it comes to foods. You hear people say things, well, it's too expensive to eat healthy. Well, it's too expensive not to, right? It's a shift. Now, are the foods more expensive than usual, than regular stuff that are not organic, things of that sort? Yes, they are. But this is why we have to situate ourselves to where we have the means to go get them. Listen, y'all, it's not rocket science. Yes, there's systematic approach to all things. Yes, there's systematic, racism and all that. Yes, all of that exists. All of that exists. But what I'm saying is, to combat that, we have to now be able to seize opportunities to start reeling in the money so we can change our lives. We are the ones that are having the most issues when it comes to health because we have bad eating habits, because many of us don't have the finances to eat properly, right? We've all been guilty of that. And even then, when we switch over and have the means financially, many of us are still making the bad choices and the things that we eat because of the bad framework and thinking that we've had for so long. And it's a constant challenge, right? It's a constant, literally renewing of the mind, right? Be not conformed to what this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. The renewing of the mind is it's an ongoing way of life. It's not just, okay, I read this book and now I'm done, or I made this change, now I'm done. No, it's a constant move, a constant working towards becoming better, learning more, unlearning some things. Most of us, not most of us, all of us have to learn something, some way, shape, and form in our lives. We have to reprogram our minds. Our subconscious mind is dictating how we live in life, how we manage money. That's how somebody can make a whole lot of money and then still have the thing to show for it. It's all in the mind. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis to change the way you're thinking, to challenge your thoughts? What are we doing? Getting rich is not just about the nice house and nice cars. That's great. But it's more about security, your health, respect, change, being a change agent, being able to help in philanthropic, ways when you need to or want to. But you can't help anybody if you're not in your place to help yourself. And then you hear people say things like, well, I don't have enough money, or I don't have the money to start a business. I don't have this and I don't have that. But the truth is, we all have an opportunity to do something. We all have an opportunity with what we have, and then being able to notice when opportunities come our way. One of the things that I truly admire about the network marketing industry is that it allows anybody an opportunity to truly change their lives with literally like $99. But yet you still find people that would say things like, I don't do that. Oh, I don't really think that's for me. What do you mean you don't think that's for you? You don't have an option. That's a bit extreme. You probably have options, right? Hopefully do. But most people don't. They don't have the options. They're in a situation where they need to do something different, yet and still they'll say things like, well, I don't know. I can't do that. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Most people are just one check away of being homeless. What are we doing to change our situation? This is going to require development on a totally different level, a lifestyle of personal development, a lifestyle of being conscious of things that need to be added and or removed from our way of living. They don't respect people when they don't have money. Now, this is not to say that they will respect you because you have money, because there are people that clearly don't do that either. But there is a higher level of respect when you have the dollar and you have the power of the dollar, okay? There's a grand difference. But people look at you different. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter 10 years ago, and I had to go to a WIC office. It was the most humiliating freaking thing I had ever gone through. And I hated it. They look at you different. I remember them questioning me and think that everybody's trying to get over. I'm like, ma'am, I really don't even want to be here. Trust me on that. You can keep your little dang on WIC. Listen, I went there one time and never went back. I went there one time and never went back. Because what you're not going to do is disrespect me. I don't care how bad. And the truth was, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to feed my daughter, I wouldn't have gone, period. I would have stayed and been hungry. But this is the thing. This is how most people in those environments look at you when you go there. And the whole time I was there, I remember thinking to myself, I should be here helping these people. That was my mindset. I knew the call of my life. And the call of my life was to be able to help people get to freedom. But here I was in this dang old WIC office after being homeless, after being hit and ran over by an 18-wheeler truck while I was walking and pregnant. Yes, you heard me correctly. Where I had no other options at the time. But even in that, I knew that there was no way in this world that I could ever be comfortable in that state. Literally, while I was sitting in that room, I'm looking at people and I'm like, I'm supposed to be helping them. I'm supposed to be helping her. That was my mindset. And so when I talk to people and I come on as aggressive as I do, consistently showing people opportunities, it's because we need you to get rich. We need you to let go of poverty and never identify with it ever again in your life. We need you to be the first millionaires in your family. I need you to be able to look and say, this is what we do with our finances. This is our financial plan. This is how we're going to make sure that our kids are conscious and our kids are educated on money. So that way they're not behind creating the same cycle that we've been creating on and on and on. We have to make that difference. We have to do that. And today I was on a private call with the CEO of the company that I partnered with, and he was sharing his heart. Here's a man who has helped a company create $1 billion. Here's a man who made well over $30 million in the last $30 million over the last 5 years. And he was literally sharing his heart about how we have to show people the plan. We have to show people a financial plan and how in 1 year their life can totally be different. In 1 year, on a residual basis, have over $49,000 a month. We have to show people that. And the thing is, what's showing the people, it has to be a community. It has to be community effort. It has to be where everyone can come together and see in their mind's eye the proven power of what works when you tap into cooperative economics. Other communities understand cooperative economics. We are the ones that battle the most with that. And yes, we are the ones who have gone through the most historically that truly challenge our thinking and our way of doing things. Yes, I understand that. But at some point, we have to come together and say, okay, enough is enough. Yes, this is what they did. Yes, this is our history. But what do we do today? Because if we keep seeing other people as the exception, we'll never see it as something or a people that it actually belongs to. We come from wealth. Wealth is not foreign to us. We come from royalty. So anything else is contrary to who we actually are. But when you have so many years of people stripping your identity, so many years of people lying to you about who you are, it makes it very hard for you to remember the goodness in you, to remember the king in you, the queen in you, the God in you. It makes it very hard to remember that. But even though it may be hard to remember that place of royalty within, it's still there. It doesn't change the fact that it's still there. Perfect example. It doesn't matter that Prince Harry left the royal home, the royal palace. His DNA is royalty. It doesn't matter that he came and moved to Canada or moved to America. It doesn't matter. In his DNA flows the blood of royalty. And so it is for us. We are God's here on this earth. The greater one is in us. So regardless of all of that, we have to be the ones to truly get back to that place and change the trajectory of our children's life, our children's children. Because listen, nobody's out here looking out for us in the places that truly matter. And so we have to go and teach, unlearn, relearn, right? All of that at the same time. And so when you see an opportunity, don't say, oh, that's not for me, or I don't know, or nah. If you don't have an actual financial plan that is actually yielding you results, that can also compress time, you need to go ahead and hop on that. I'm just saying, if you don't have a financial plan that also allows you to compress time greatly, allows for you to truly be able to change the lives of a grand amount of people at the same time, you need to be hop on this arc. That's just what it is. This is the reason why there are people like doctors, lawyers, professors, coaches, authors, successful people that have partnered with me and this company as a whole, because we get success. We understand how money works. We understand leverage. We understand residual income. We understand that now we have to come together and share with those that don't know and that may still be stuck in their old ways. We have that responsibility. If that's what you've been called to, if the call of wealth is on your life to bring other people into that. But even Harriet Tubman said she could have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. And you would think that's extreme, Sharita. How does someone not know? If you've been born into something, you believe that's it for the most part. And here you are, you had all these people that were born into slavery. It was almost insane for them to believe there could be something different. Why? Because they had never seen anything differently. They were born into it. And that's where a lot of us are today. Many people born into poverty, born into unhealthy relationships, born into unhealthy eating habits, born into bad habits as a whole. We've been born into it and don't know anything differently. And so we think this is it. But this is why the power of exposure is so imperative. Because once you're able to see something, it then becomes a reality. It then lets you know that it's possible. This is why I am so consistent in showing people the possibilities that are available to them. Because exposure is everything. While there are some people that may get tired of it and God bless them, they can go their merry way, there are other people that need to be able to know that there's more. And so this is the thing. Make it your business to truly change the trajectory of yourself, your family's lives, and get rich. Because your health is waiting on you, your children's well-being, all of that. I gotta take this call because I knew my nanny was gonna call me. But listen, if you like to learn how to tap into this wealth creation I'm referring to, how to be able to tap into cooperative economics and be able to really see change and residually create that wealth, get into my inbox. If you're watching me on YouTube, inbox me on Facebook or email sharitaleon@gmail.com. And I would love to share that information with you. If you're watching from somebody else's page that sends to you, that's also a part of my team, go ahead and contact them. But listen, I gotta go. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life. Be blessed.
I'm a millionaire. Money better cases.